The disrespect for you to actually embarrass me like this on TV. Somebody's gonna have to catch something, Shannon. Laurel is better than me. Team Mess. We've got some messy drama to talk about, so let's talk about it. Yeah. Before we get into the mess of it all, let's talk about the beginning. So in the beginning, we're back to Johnny, who basically copied Luke T's proposal from the latest season of the UK version with his unoriginal trash arse. So we're back to that, and we get the conclusion of the Beauty and the Trash Disney love story. And of course, Selly says yes to Future Distress. And they are the first official boyfriend and girlfriend couple of the season. So then, directly after the proposal comes to its conclusion, we see Justine and Caleb having another conversation, and it's the conversations that we keep seeing. It's not necessarily a negative conversation, but they're addressing problems and insecurities in their relationship. And even though these conversations come to a resolution of some sort, it's still this kind of energy of, oh my gosh, they're still going through it. They're still going through doubts. There's not this exciting, loving, intimate energy, and we keep seeing this. Whereas with Johnny and Selly, of course, they've had lots of problems, but there's still kind of this excitement there. This kind of, every episode we're seeing Justine saying, I've got my heart broken, so I feel like this is too good to be true. It's getting a bit boring. So it's getting a bit boring. And the fact that they keep redoing this edit is a little suspicious to me. It's a little suspicious. We do get another cute, intimate moment from them, which I hope that we see more of. So perhaps maybe they're maybe listening to the backlash and trying to make an effort, but we definitely need to see more J-Lib content and more positive, fun, exciting J-Lib content, in my opinion. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Are you here for this kind of edit where they're talking about their issues and they're resolving them? Or do you feel like we need a different type of edit from them? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. And were you satisfied with the J-Lib edit today? I'd be interested to hear from the J-Lib stands. So, then after the proposal, interestingly enough, we see Kirsten crying over Carrington, and it's basically clear that she's still not over Carrington. And I've been kind of saying throughout my podcast, I think they're going to get back together, but I don't think they are. And I think this episode, she kind of solidified that, yeah, I need to remember that this guy is trash. So, but I don't really know what's going to go on for Kirsten now, because I'm not sure if she's going to be a strong competitor anymore. I think people do like Kirsten, but now that it's come to light that she is a Trump supporter, I think people are not really going as hard for her anymore. So I'm not really sure if she really has many lives left. I reckon she could potentially be the next one out, because it's going to be Boy's Pick next, I think. Yeah. So I reckon Kirsten could potentially be the next one out. I think she's exhausted her options now. Her only real option of staying maybe to the final would have been getting back together with Carrington, but I don't think that's an option now. But yeah, the fact that she was still crying over Carrington, I really need to know what he did to her, what kind of spell he did. Was it something in the waste, in this water waste? I don't know what Carrington did to Kirsten, but it's crazy how she's still crying over him. So then we have a challenge. It's another stripper challenge, and the producers are just giving us what we want. But I feel like they were a bit stingy with this edit, though. They were a bit stingy with the edit, in my opinion. But I feel like in this challenge, it really confirmed to me that some of these boys really have had side hustles as a stripper. I'm sure of it. So yeah, let's just go. Calvin, he's performing again. You know, definitely a former stripper. And yeah, he's performing again. We get a nice little performance. And he picks Moira and he kisses her with the passion. So I feel like he is wanting to cement things now with Moira. Then we get Caleb. He's a lot less stiff this time. He's a bit smoother. The moves are improving. So yes, I was impressed with this improvement. We love to see progress. Then we see Carrington. Of course, I think he was also another former stripper. It wasn't as good as last time, but Carrington is a little bitch. He's a little bitch. Like, wow. I mean, I knew he was trashy before, but he was just trash this episode. Like, he's carried the mantelpiece now. You know, Team Mess, we were starving for it, and Carrington definitely delivered the mess. So, the mess begins when Carrington decides to pick Laken as the person who's going to be carrying and kissing. And it's just rude. It's just rude and disrespectful. I mean, obviously him and Laurel aren't like boyfriend and girlfriend. They're not official. And I've said it before. They're a boring couple and Carrington isn't interested in her at all. And Laurel definitely needs to get a clue. And I think she's finally clued up now this episode, thankfully. But yeah, I've said that. But still, there's decorum. There's decorum. If you're going to be doing slimy business, at least, you know, do it out of sight like Johnny, you know? But to do the disrespect so publicly, it's rude. It's rude. It's rude. So, he goes down. He picks Laketon, and Laurel is just like, what the fuck? Like, she knows she looks like a fucking idiot on TV. Like, it's just absolutely embarrassing. I mean, what can you really do at this point when you've been disrespected so publicly? She's just like looking away. She's just standing and with her back to the bushes. And I mean, honestly, I don't know what I would have done. I feel like I would have had to snatch somebody up. Like, the disrespect. Like, the disrespect for you to actually embarrass me like this on TV. Somebody's going to have to catch something, Shadi. Laurel is better than me. Because the disrespect, no. I'm not saying I would have beat anybody's ass now, but I would have taken a stand of some sort, Shadi. Because the disrespect. I would have told the producers, cut the camera, Shadi. Because the disrespect. Oh, Carrington is rude. Oh, I was here for the mess. Carrington, I didn't know you could be so rude. Oh, so then now he's picked Laken. And not only has he picked her, he doesn't have the decency to just do a little kiss now. He's out here kissing her with the passion, publicly, just to throw salt in the disrespect. Absolutely. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry about it, Laura. I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry about it. This is the one where you have to put like hot chili in their breakfast because the disrespect is the disrespect. So obviously Lauren is just standing there looking like an absolute idiot, and she's obviously upset. I mean, what can the poor girl do? So then during this, Caleb is just like, oh, it's just a challenge, and Caleb just needed to be quiet. I mean, the absolute disrespect. Caleb should just have been quiet and not even gotten involved. Like, just close your lips, babe. I'm here for the mess, but Caleb should have just stayed quiet. Then we get a performance from Johnny. It was a good performance. Another former stripper, I'm sure of it. Then we get Bennett, and he's putting like clamps on his nipples. But honestly, Bennett is just not a good performer. But he picks Laurel to spice things up. And I was just like, oh, he's picking Laurel, so he wants to shake the table. I was thinking maybe he was picking Laurel to be nice, because obviously she's just been out here disrespected. Kirsten, obviously, she's cheering, but she's cheering him on. She's not really checking for him anyway. She's kind of already made up her mind. She's not really interested in him. We all knew that. But you can tell that Kirsten was kind of disappointed because it is a bit cheeky. It's a bit disrespectful. But it's mild compared to what Carrington did, because it's clear that Kirsten isn't really checking for this Bennett guy anyway. But Laurel was living for it. But I'm not sure if Carrington was really bothered, to be honest. But I was happy Laurel got that moment. I was happy she did. So then they pick who the sexiest is. And personally, I think the sexiest performances were, from what the edits that we saw, I think it was between Calvin and Johnny, but they picked Bennett. I'm just like, all he did was put some shit on his nipples. Like, is that what does it for you girls? Is that what does it for you girls? Like, okay, but I think it was just Laurel who announced it, and she's the one who picked, and they just let her have it. But personally, I don't think Bennett was the sexiest. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Who do you think had the sexiest performance? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. So then, the aftermath of the challenge. Bennett says that he was basically stunting when he was picking Laurel because he wants to kind of make Kirsten jealous, or, you know, light a fire within her. And honestly, these type of things, I don't know. Obviously, I think I'm here for Team Mess. I'm here for it. But in real life, honestly, wanting women to chase you, it's a bit tacky, in my opinion. It's a bit tacky. So then obviously he then proceeds to tell Kirsten, and like it's absolutely transparent that he was trying to make her jealous. She obviously had said already that she wasn't really feeling him. So she reiterates that back to Bennett, that she wasn't really feeling him anyway, and tells him that she wasn't really feeling this whole I'm going to kiss another girl to make you jealous. Like, she's not feeling them games, innit? And that basically she's not really feeling this relationship anymore. And yeah, it's very good. Don't get me wrong. I love a little girl fight. I love a little bit of drama. I love the drama. I am Team Mess. But in real life, ladies, trust me, please do not be fighting over men out here. Please do not. It should be the other way around. You know? I mean, you can debate me if you want, but I just think that women should not be chasing men. I don't think so. I think men are the ones who are meant to be chasing the women, in my opinion. So yeah, it's just tacky. It's just tacky. You think you came in here 2 minutes and you think you can try and make Kirsten jealous. It's just the confidence. And the audacity, really. The audacity. Then obviously we see Carrington. He's talking with the boys, and he's basically saying how he still wants to be with Laurel, but also pursue Laketon, or he's going to be super nice to Laurel while he's pursuing Laken. So I was just like, what? I was like, super nice. You literally just disrespected and embarrassed this girl on national TV, and you're talking about being nice. And then basically he starts talking about, well, you know, I'm just doing what she was doing with Calvin. I was just like, okay, this is feeling a bit snarky now, because this is feeling like, did he kiss her? Did he do this stunt because he was still feeling a type of way about it, and this was him getting back at Laurel? Because Laurel was cheeky for being secretive about it. I've seen some people saying, oh, well, Carrington was getting upset about Laurel pursuing Calvin. I don't think that was actually the case. I think he was annoyed that she was trying to be secretive and shady about it, because she was trying to be secretive and shady about it. But now I kind of think he was just annoyed about her pursuing somebody else, period, as well as that. But my thing is, there is decorum. There is decorum. When Laura was doing it, even though she was being a bit shady and secretive, there was still decorum there. She wasn't out here publicly embarrassing people. So why do you feel like you could be out here publicly embarrassing people like it's an equal equivalence? So that lets me know that Carrington is just trash. So then obviously they have a conversation. Laurel checks him. They kind of keep going around in circles about, oh, well, you did it. And then she was like, oh, yeah, I did do it, but I didn't do it like you did it. And she was like, oh, he's like, yes, you did. But in that conversation, we didn't actually see her address the disrespect of him picking somebody else to kiss in front of everybody. We didn't see it in that conversation. And I was kind of just like, why isn't anybody addressing this in this conversation? But I think it was just the edit, because we saw her then continue to have a conversation with Kirsten where she basically is like, she told him that the kiss was disrespectful, and he was just basically like, oh, it's a game, and how it wasn't that big of a deal. So that makes me believe that they did address it in that argument, but for some reason the editors just thought to leave it out. And yeah, so basically Kirsten and Laurel just basically have a heart-to-heart and bond over the disrespect that they've received from Carrington. And I think in that conversation, Kirsten really cemented that Carrington really is trash, and she really should not be checking for this trash guy. And yeah, Laurel is just feeling very upset for herself. But I'm just kind of like, Laurel, I understand you're upset, but it's kind of like, I really hope that you're not trying to, like, you know, piece this relationship together. Leave him, sis. Leave him, sis, because he's definitely leaving you already. So you might as well just cut off the relationship and try and cut off your feelings as well. Like I said, I really don't know what Carrington is out here doing to these girls that they're fawning over him so much. I really don't know what it is. Like I said, it's probably some type of spell with that water waste. That's what I'm thinking. And it was quite interesting. Obviously, they have the conversation. Carrington basically is just very dismissive, and he walks away, and he's just kind of bitching to the boys and trying to make it seem like he is more innocent than he was, and trying to make it seem like Laura is the one being unreasonable here. And Calvin is kind of like agreeing, and I'm just like, these boys are actually rubbish. I kind of get that Carrington is probably making him out to seem better than he is, but I just feel like with the history of Carrington, everybody should know that he's chatting shit. Maybe it's just the kind of thing where your friend is venting, so you just got to agree with the vent, you know? But yeah, when Calvin was like basically agreeing, I was just like, shut up, Calvin. Like, these boys are actually annoying me. Then we see Carrington pursue Laken, and he basically tells her that he likes her, he really likes her, he's got a spark with her, and he had no spark with Laurel. And I feel like he does this every time with a new girl. He tells the new girl he wasn't feeling the old girl, and like basically slyly cusses them out and was like, oh my god, you're so special because I've never felt this way with you. He basically did that with Kirsten, and he did it with Laurel, and now he's doing it with this new girl. So I kind of just feel like I really hope this new girl is basically just using Carrington to get as far as she can, rather than actually thinking she can have a viable relationship with Carrington, because Carrington is clearly trash. He's still in that stage in his life where he's trash. So I feel like if Laken does, you know, pursue this relationship in the house, she should fully ditch him when she comes out. And honestly, I can't even see this spark that he's talking about, to be honest. Like Laurel said, she's just a shiny new toy. And I think he actually does get a power trip from dashing and dumping these girls and making these girls feel like shit, to be honest. So obviously, Laurel is just basically very upset. She's just fermenting and marinating in all of this disrespect. And she's just basically in her feelings like, oh, I wish he never brought me back from Casa Ramon, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to lie, I wish he brought Mercedes as well. But I totally feel you, girl. I know I'm not the only one thinking it, but yeah, I'm not sure if she'll leave though. I mean, it's gonna be very embarrassing if Carrington is the one who causes you to leave the house, to be honest. I think she should just stay with Bennett for the next week or before she gets voted out with him. But yeah, I'd be very surprised if she does leave, to be honest. I feel like it's just all talk and emotion right now, but I don't think she will leave. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think Laura will actually leave if Carrington dumps her? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. We also see Calvin and Moira talk, and Calvin is very cheeky because when the new girls came in, he was acting brand new, like, oh, Moira's only checking for me because these new girls are coming in, I'm suspicious. But now the new girls aren't checking for him. Suddenly now he wants to kind of clamp down on him and Moira because he wants to survive. You know how he is, Calvin the cockroach that will never die. I really feel like Calvin is going to get to the final, to be honest. I really do. I really have faith in his survival skills that he will make it to the final. But yeah, it's just interesting because he was talking about how no other girls are going to sway him and he's ready to commit to her, whatever. It's just cheeky. It's cheeky, Calvin. I fucking peeped you. Anyway, then Moira's obviously happy about it, and she's kind of cheeky, putting it in there. Oh, so do you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend? And she was kind of saying it in a jokey way. But if he was like, yeah, sure, I'm sure she fully would have been like, okay. You know how Moira is. Moira, she's fucking crazy. Anyway, um, and then that's basically the end of the episode. There's going to be a recoupling tomorrow. I think next episode it's meant to be an explosive reshuffle, but I guess we'll see. But one thing I noticed is where is Julia? Where did Julia go? I just feel like people are just missing. Like, people are just getting abducted by aliens out here and just going missing. Like, where the fuck is Julia? Has Julia been kicked off the show now or removed from the show? Like, what's going on? Did they just forget to edit her in, or has she been kicked off the show? Let me know if you know anything. But yeah, that's pretty much the roundup of this episode. Yeah. What do you guys think of the whole Carrington diabolical? What do you guys think about it? Do you think Lauren is going to leave or couple up with Bennett? What are you guys thinking about Jaleb? Do you think the edit is getting better? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. And when do you think Jaleb are going to be official? Because in that intimate moment that we saw, I thought he was going to ask her, but he didn't. But he was kind of talking about it, like, oh, you know, Johnny went all out. But when do you think it's going to happen? And do you think it's going to be a public proposal or a private one? I'd be interested to hear from you guys. I think I would prefer a private one. I just feel like these public proposals just for girlfriend or boyfriend is cheesy. I mean, even for marriage, I personally would want an intimate one. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear from you guys. And yeah, where is Julia? Where is Julia, babes? But yeah, as always, let me know what you thought of my commentary. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you have, don't forget to put that notification bell. I'm also trying to get to 1.8k, so I'd appreciate if you help me out with that goal. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel so far. Until next time, guys, bye.